Welcome to my channel Nirvana Recaps.
Chapter 1, Silver Dragon Dungeon. The damp air of the dungeon was suffocating, the scent of stone and iron mixed with ancient magic. Heavy footfalls echoed in the dim chamber, followed by a voice like silk over steel. Her Majesty. A silver-clad guard bowed low. Shall we execute him now, Your Majesty? Rosweiss raised a hand, her silver eyes gleaming with cold command. You all leave. I want to speak to him alone. The guards exchanged uneasy glances but obeyed. Yes, Your Majesty. The door groaned shut behind them, leaving only two beings in the vast, silent dungeon. Rosweiss approached the broken man chained to the wall, her movements as graceful as they were predatory. Leon Cosmode, the great dragon-slaying hero. How does it feel to be a prisoner of our dragon clan? Leon's breath was ragged, his body slumped in exhaustion. Yet his defiance burned bright in his eyes. Kill me. Rosweiss' lips curled into a smile, an unsettling mix of amusement and cruelty. She crouched before him, tracing his chin with a razor-sharp nail. Oh, you want me to give you a quick death? Her smile deepened. But it's not that easy. She leaned closer, her breath warm on his skin. You are quite handsome, aren't you? Suddenly, her claw sliced across his cheek. Blood welled from the wound. Let's add a few scars to make you even more perfect. Leon grimaced but refused to cry out. Stop humiliating me. Just get it over with. Kill me, chop me up, just do it fast. Rosweiss chuckled, her voice dripping with mockery. How noble. If not for the schemes of others, you wouldn't have fallen so far. But I have an idea. She lifted her blood-stained fingers to her lips and licked them slowly, savoring the taste. Join our Silver Dragon clan, Leon. Leon glared. Are you worthy? Her smile vanished. In an instant, her tail whipped through the air, slamming him into the wall. Leon coughed, blood spilling from his lips. Rosweiss stepped over him, her heel pressing into his chest. How dare a prisoner speak to me that way? Her voice dripped with disdain. Leon Cosmode, do you still see yourself as the hero mankind once praised? Do you dream of wiping out the Dragon Clan and becoming a legend? She leaned closer, whispering, Wake up. You'll die here, a forgotten fool, an insect squashed under the claw of a dragon. Leon gritted his teeth, his defiant gaze unwavering. Don't underestimate humans. Rosweiss' eyes flashed. In one fluid motion, her tail wrapped around his neck, lifting him into the air. He struggled against the crushing force but managed a pained grin. Two mistakes, Rosweiss. Leon gasped. First, you shouldn't have stayed alone with the most dangerous dragon slayer alive. Her expression flickered with confusion. And second, blood dripped from Leon's lips as his grin widened. You should never taste my blood. Blood curse. Rosweiss' tail loosened in shock, and Leon fell to the ground, gasping for air. A strange heat began to spread through her body. It's so hot. What have you done to me? She whispered, clutching her chest as if it burned from within. Leon coughed, dragging himself to his feet. The blood curse, it's a forbidden spell. By tasting my blood, you've formed a soul bond with me. When I die, the curse will drown you in endless pain, for the rest of your life. Rosweiss' eyes widened in disbelief. Impossible. If it only activates upon your death, then why is this happening now? Leon smirked. The curse has side effects. Before she could react, she felt herself drawn toward him, her body betraying her mind. She pushed Leon to the ground, panting heavily. What? What's happening to me? She gasped, her silver hair falling over his face. Without thinking, she kissed him, a desperate hunger driving her actions.
An hour later. The cold dungeon air kissed their bare skin. Rosweiss sat up, covering herself with her arms, her cheeks flushed with shame and fury. What did you do to me? She demanded. Leon lay on the ground, his body battered but his grin victorious. I told you. The blood curse creates a soul bond. When I die, the pain will haunt you forever. But until then, well, I didn't expect this particular side effect. Roswei's fists clenched as she struggled to contain her emotions. Nonsense! We dragons follow the rule of monogamy. No. Leon interrupted, his grin widening. And that's the beauty of it. When I die, not only will you never have another mate, you'll also have no descendants. No dragon successor. Just like you said I wouldn't. Her fury exploded. She grabbed a nearby cloth to cover herself, and lunged at him, striking him across the face. You bastard! Leon coughed, laughing despite the pain. You want to kill me? Go ahead. But I won't be the only one suffering. Rosweiss glared down at him, her body trembling with rage and confusion. You are just a human. And you've taken your revenge in the most despicable way, she whispered. Leon closed his eyes, his voice a low whisper. Live with hatred for me, and pain for the rest of your life. That's my curse to you. Rosweiss stood, her expression unreadable as she donned her clothes. You want to die so easily? How can it be so cheap? Chapter 2: The Awakening of a Legend. Leon Cosmode, once a legendary dragon-slaying hero, lay in a dimly lit room. Memories of his glorious past flashed before his eyes, and he felt the weight of his current predicament. As a child prodigy, he was renowned for his strength and bravery, but those days felt like a distant dream. At the age of 5, Leon had killed a vicious beast threatening his village with nothing but his bare hands. His innate prowess caught the attention of a passing dragon slayer, who took him under his wing. By the time he turned 10, he had entered the prestigious Imperial Dragon Slayer Academy. 4 years later, he graduated with the highest honors in history, becoming the youngest graduate ever to achieve such a feat. At 15, he stepped onto the battlefield, facing dragons and reclaiming lost territories for the Empire. With each battle fought, his name grew more legendary. Leon was known as the strongest dragon-slaying hero and humanity's last hope in the war against the dragons. However, everything changed when he was captured by the very clan he had sworn to eradicate. Leon's eyes fluttered open, and reality crashed in around him. The familiar smell of damp stone and the distant flicker of light brought him back to consciousness. "Where am I?" he muttered, his voice hoarse and barely above a whisper. As he sat up, a small figure peeked through the door, her wide eyes sparkling with innocence. "Hey, you're awake!" she exclaimed. Leon squinted, confusion washing over him as he registered her presence. Who are you?" he asked. The little girl stepped into the room, revealing a strange mix of black and white hair cascading down her small shoulders. "What a good name!" Leon responded, curious. "But why is your hair like that?" "Mom said it means the moon," she replied proudly. "Angels have mothers too?" he wondered aloud. "Uh-huh. My name is Leon. Leon Cosmode," he said. "I know. Leon means lion," she exclaimed with excitement. "Who told you this?" Leon asked, intrigued. "That's what my mom said too," she answered with a big smile. Suddenly, the name Rosweiss crashed over him like a tidal wave. He felt shock ripple through him as he processed the revelation. "May I ask who your mother is?" he inquired. "Rosweiss," she said cheerfully. He gasped, realizing the implications. "Your mother is Rosweiss. Then, I am," she trailed off. The weight of the revelation crushed him. "You are my daughter?" he asked incredulously. At that moment, the door swung open, and Ross Weiss entered, a mixture of annoyance and relief on her face. Mom! Mom, Dad is awake! The little girl squealed. Yeah, I know. You finally woke up, Leon, Ross Weiss said, her expression softening slightly. Yet, there was an underlying tension in her tone. Mom must be happy to see Dad awake because you come to visit him every day, she added with a hint of sarcasm. Leon's thoughts spiraled in disbelief as he processed her words. Only a ghost would believe that, he thought. Myun, go out and play for a while. I have something to say to your father, Ross Weiss instructed. Okay, Myun replied and skipped out of the room. As soon as the door closed, Leon turned to Ross Weiss, his heart heavy with confusion and resentment. Is she really my daughter? He asked, searching her eyes for answers. Of course. What else could she be? She is our biological daughter, Ross Weiss replied, her tone matter-of-fact.
Leon's expression twisted with a mix of anger and disbelief. You hate me. Why did you give birth to the child? Why did you save me? He demanded. Ross Weiss's expression hardened. You've been asleep for 2 years. Do you think I could just let go after what you did to me? She shot back, her voice rising with emotion. Leon felt the heat of her words. Why, did you save me? We are different. We cannot coexist. If it were any other time, I would never have touched you, he replied, frustration evident in his voice. Oh? So touching me is also torture for you? Ross Weiss retorted, her eyes narrowing. With a sudden burst of movement, Ross Weiss pushed him back against the bed, her expression a fierce blend of anger and determination. I want to carve my own dragon pattern on you, she declared, climbing on top of him, pinning him down with surprising strength. Stop it, Ross Weiss. Leon protested, feeling vulnerable beneath her grip. Ross Weiss's hands moved swiftly, tearing at his shirt and exposing his chest. This will become your shame, Leon. From now on, you will be my prisoner. You will never leave me, she said, her voice laced with dark satisfaction. When your fellow humans see the dragon tattoo on your body, what will they think? Will they see a great dragon-slaying hero or a traitor who surrendered to the dragon clan? Leon shot back defiantly. Ross Weiss's eyes blazed with a dark intensity, her voice low and filled with malice. Why, do it to this extent, he pressed, struggling to understand her motivations. Don't you understand? Leon, the dragon race's concept of revenge is complex and deeply ingrained. Their desire for vengeance is an inhuman trait, paranoia, extreme, and beyond human understanding, she explained, her tone unwavering. Leon felt a cold dread settle in the pit of his stomach, a sense of helplessness creeping in as he realized the full scope of Ross Weiss's intentions. In that moment, something within him stirred, a mix of defiance and despair. He refused to let her have the satisfaction of breaking him entirely. This feeling, he murmured, caught in the intensity of their confrontation. Ross Weiss leaned closer, her breath mingling with his. The tension between them was palpable, a strange dance of love and hate, revenge and vulnerability, a clash of two worlds destined to collide. Although this is incredible from a human perspective, this is my revenge on you as a dragon, Ross Weiss said, their lips hovering near each other. As the air thickened with unspoken words, the line between captor and captive blurred. The stage was set for a conflict neither of them could have anticipated, a battle of wills where love and hatred intertwined. End of Chapter 2.
The Silver Dragon Castle. In the grand halls of the Silver Dragon Castle, two maids exchanged whispers. The queen seems to be in a good mood today, one remarked, glancing toward the throne room. You don't know this, her husband has finally woken up. The other maid replied, excitement lacing her words. Bah! That female dragon actually announced to the public that I was her husband. The first maid scoffed, rolling her eyes. You have no idea how terrifying that mother dragon is. The second maid replied, her voice barely above a whisper. Meanwhile, Leon, the dragon slayer, found himself lost in thought, recalling the previous night. Move faster, Leon. Rosweiss had urged him, her voice echoing in his mind. Ugh, she squeezed me for a whole day and night. My waist is almost broken. He groaned, frustration welling up inside him. I, Leon, will never stay here and become her plaything. He glanced around the castle, noting the 4 dragons guarding the side door. It felt impossible to escape. Yet, something was off. Why were there so few guards today? The castle felt eerily quiet compared to the chaos from when he had arrived 2 years prior. Huh? How come there is a hole here? He murmured, spotting a small gap in the wall. This can't be a trap, can it? With determination, he slapped his hands together. Never mind, I can't think too much right now. I have to leave here no matter what. Even if it is a trap, I will force my way out. Goodbye, perverted mother dragon. As for the little dragon named Myun, although she is very cute, she can only be yours for the time being. He declared, a hint of resolve in his voice. Above him, his daughter Myun spotted him from the castle roof. Mom, look. Dad is digging a dog hole. How cool! She exclaimed, stretching out on the sun-warmed roof. I saw it. He's pretty awesome, her mother, Rosweiss, replied with a hint of pride. When will Mom go and catch him back? Myun asked innocently, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Myun, you can't say fish him back when talking about your dad. It's very rude, Rosweiss corrected, her tone light yet firm. So what should I say? Myun asked, puzzled. Just say catch him back, Rosweiss said, a small smile tugging at her lips. After some time, Leon continued his escape, pushing himself as he ran. After climbing over these mountains, I'll see the borders of human territory, he thought, determination fueling his steps. After running so far, that female dragon shouldn't catch up with me, right? Suddenly, he shouted in surprise, recognizing a familiar voice. Rosweiss. You are quite a runner, Leon, she teased, gliding through the air above him in her majestic dragon form. Damn it. He cursed under his breath, frustration mounting. It must be fun to play with me like this, right? Rosweiss descended, her scales glinting in the sunlight. I am indeed very satisfied. Don't you think this is too smooth? Who helped you divert the guards and left a hole for you to escape? Leon shot her a serious look, determination etched on his face. Even if I knew it was a trap, I had no choice. I just didn't expect you to catch up so quickly. She leaned closer, her enormous dragon head towering over him, casting a shadow. What will happen if you return to human territory now? You already have my mark on your chest. Do you think they will still recognize you as a dragon slayer? Leon met her gaze with fierce conviction. Then I will start my life again as an ordinary person, which is better than being tortured by you. Rosweiss flared her wings in frustration. TSK. You don't know how to appreciate my kindness. Wah! Leon shouted as she scooped him up in her claws, sending his heart racing. Let me go. Where are you taking me, you dragon? He yelled, panic rising. Since you want to go back so much, I will help you, she declared, and with a powerful flap of her wings, they soared through the sky. 3 hours later, they neared the Empire's border city. With a flick of her claws, Rosweiss tossed him gently into a tree. Wah wah. It hurts, he groaned as he landed awkwardly. Leon blinked in surprise as he looked around. Is this a human town? Rosweiss suddenly appeared beside him, a teasing smile on her lips. That's right. That's the human empire. When you see the long-lost human town, do you feel that you can return to the human world just by stepping over it? But Leon, you can't go back, even if it seems so close at hand. She warned, her expression shifting to one of seriousness. Oh, I forgot to mention, Rosweiss continued, her tone turning sultry. When one of the two people with the dragon mark wants to have sex with the other, the dragon male will produce a reaction. Leon's heart raced as he processed her words. Do you want to be here? Yes. Do you know why I brought you here? I want you to understand what shame is right in front of your hometown, so close to it. She replied, her gaze piercing through him. Leon, fueled by a mix of defiance and attraction, met her eyes with confidence. Do you think I will lose faith because of this? He suddenly grabbed her hand, his voice steady. I will wait patiently until that opportunity comes. By then, I will repay you double for all the humiliation you've put me through. Rosweiss' eyes sparkled with intrigue. Oh, okay. With a playful smile, she leaned in closer, pressing her body against his. I'll be waiting for you, dead or alive. She teased, rubbing her form against him, sending shivers down his spine. End of chapter 3.